Okay. This is literally the 4th attempt I've done on this, but they weren't all the way through 4 attempts. But we're reacting to Goddish version Enna Alouette. Let's get right into it.
Oh my god.
That's a good line. Spoiler for life, death-ish, you know. Death. I'm dancing with a ish word book. The only reason I know this one, I missed it in my very first recording, but this is a good line in my interpretation, because dancing with a ish word book, this is called Goddish, and when you're writing down lyrics for a song, you can use, you know, a paper or a word book or a notebook. So that's a nice little line there. I figured that out in the, you know, start of my 3rd recording, but let's continue. I'm gonna say this now. I like the art styles and the animation, and I like how there's ishes. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we can continue with the rest of this. Very nice high note. Okay. So that got us taught. It sounds like I'm saying a bad word, but I'm not. Listen, my remembrance of history, not the best, but I believe that is a German saying for like the destruction kind of the people's belief in Christianity. It doesn't actually literally mean like death of God. It just means the destruction of the belief in people's Christianity. I think. Okay? My remembrance of history from school, not the best, but I believe that's what that means. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Now, that line, I believe that's a double entendre, saying, like, I hate you, who's the pest now? Saying, because I hate you, now I'm the pest, but also before you were the pest. I think that's kind of a double entendre right there, so that's a cool little insert. I could be wrong, but when they're saying all of that stuff, like that perfume, that hair, that charisma, and then saying that's God-ish, it's because that other person is so attracted to all of those things about that one person, and that makes that person like their follower, and that makes it that God-ish. That's just an interpretation that I have. Is that a cigarette? Yes. So that's a good line right there. The nature of meta thinking is malice. And this all ties in kind of malice, and then artifice is, you know, clever and cunning. Malice, obviously, meaning like evil. So evil and then clever and cunning, that looks down on others. So, you know, that's all that. And then it's hard to survive in idleness. You know, it's hard to survive being alone. Now, if you look into the history books, anybody who's ever tried to play God, it's never turned out good for them, especially by, I guess, by defying God. It's just, throw away that last part. It's never ended good for anybody who's tried to play God. There. Or be a false God. There we go. And then anybody who has gained power and sat on a throne, they've basically immediately changed. So those two going together, yes, very nice. And then self-discipline and criticism, two different things. Discipline can turn dark. It's like they're taking it kind of as somebody else disciplining you, but that's something different. Discipline is, how do I say? Criticism is like, okay, I'm gonna put it in this way. Criticism is like, you've done this incorrectly, and you now need to do it this way so that it can be better in the future. Discipline is like getting a spanking, and self-discipline is nay. So yeah, that's the best way. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm sure there's a better way, but I don't want this video to go on I don't want it to be too lengthy. Oh my god, Jesus. The becoming a genius line and it being lonely is an interesting line because it can be true that sometimes being a genius, it can be lonely because, like, I guess standing at the top of people, it can be lonely. Being the best. Please ignore me stumbling over my words, trying to explain criticism and discipline. But anyways, this is Dantelios signing out. Bye-bye.